All right, more transfer news. Christian Pulisic now being linked to Juventus in exchange for Matthijs de Ligt. Obviously, here are his last stats the last few years with Chelsea. Not too impressive. We know he wasn't getting that many minutes now with the Blues and struggling a little bit with injury. We talk a little bit more about it now with Nikki Bandini, who joins us on ESPN FC. Stewie's still with us. And Nikki, what's the latest? How true is this rumor with Pulisic going to Juventus and de Ligt to Chelsea?
It's definitely true that it's been discussed. Whether or not it's true that it's going to go through is a very different question. I think Juventus are reluctant with de Ligt to accept anything that isn't just a cash transfer. They would prefer to have just a cash transfer. They feel like they're giving up an asset they really don't want to give up, though. It's a very reluctant sale from their point of view. They're only really entertaining it because de Ligt only has 2 years left in his contract and they want to be able to sell him while he still retains the maximum possible value. But they do want to think hard about how they're going to replace him, because they're already losing Giorgio Chiellini this summer. They were already really looking for a partner for de Ligt this summer. They were already looking for someone who could play that left-sided centre-back role alongside him. So if he leaves, you need to now replace your entire central defence, in effect. And I think for that reason, they're reluctant to accept a part exchange. But if they're going to accept a part exchange, I think Pulisic might just be a player who will at least interest them for his age as much as anything. You know, de Ligt is a 22-year-old player with his whole future ahead of him. Pulisic, likewise, 23 years old. It's an asset that you think you might be able to add value to rather than losing value on it.
Is he thinking about moving Ali because he needs more playing time? Look at all the attacking players Chelsea has.
Yeah, it's getting crowded. Well, it has been crowded, really, for Christian Pulisic. And part of the reason as to why American fans get all worked up about Christian Pulisic is, well, he's not getting the opportunities at Chelsea. Well, the reason he's not getting opportunities at Chelsea is because he hasn't quite earned those opportunities. And it is crowded. There is competition. It's a big club with big names. And so, therefore, you have to stay healthy. You have to be consistently productive. And he has not been for Chelsea. So, for me, if you're Christian Pulisic, you need to play, right? It's a World Cup year. Yep. Everybody's going to make that argument. You need to play. Are you going to play more at Juventus? Well, I don't know. Are you going to play more at Chelsea? I don't know. You have to stay healthy, first and foremost. You do that, you'll give yourself an opportunity to, at the very least, compete at the highest level. For him at Chelsea, when he has played with consistency, he's been good. But those are 3 and 4 games at a time, and then he disappears for a month or 2. That's never going to work. So he's got to get ready physically. He's got to be fit. He's got to be available for selection. And then he's going to have to be able to compete. And when he does that, then he'll find a place with consistency on the field.
Shaka, what do you think?
I think he needs to leave. There's too many similar midfielders to Christian Pulisic, and he's too far down the pecking order right now. In his first season, when he did get a good run in the game, he produced, but because of injuries and because of injuries, he wasn't able to find consistent form. And as Ali rightly points out, when you play for clubs like Chelsea, and dare I say, even Juventus, you have to be at the top of your form throughout. And injuries certainly does not help that. It's hindered him at Chelsea. Maybe he gets that opportunity at Juventus, but even so, saying that, I just still think that Juventus move is maybe a step more than Christian Pulisic needs right now at this stage of his career.
What I would also say is that if you're Christian Pulisic and you sit back and you see all the flirting that is going on with Chelsea and all the other players out there, and Raheem Sterling, Rafinha, and you're looking back and saying, wait, hold on a second. Don't I play that position? Aren't I that guy? Well, obviously not. If they're flirting with everybody else and they're not flirting with you, that's a problem.
It's a big sign for Pulisic.
Yes.
Stuart, what do you think? Do his chances increase minutes-wise at Juventus? How would he fit in there?
I mean, obviously, as we heard from Nikki, I'm not sure that Juventus probably wants him. They don't want a swap deal. Pulisic would come in and he'd be another player playing in the role behind the main striker or playing the wide areas. Is he going to get any more playing time? Ali's just said it. Is he going to get any more playing time at Juventus than he will at Chelsea? I'm not sure he will. Allegri's now having to rebuild because they've let 1 or 2 players go. So it's a rebuilding chance. If he does go there, he's got to have a very good start. He's got to make sure he breaks into the team. And as the 2 guys in the studio said, he's got to be consistent. He's got to play at his very best and he's got to play well every week. And if he does that, he'll get a good run in the side and he'll be in top form. But he has to be more consistent and he has to throw himself into the front line straight away.
Stuart, I want to stay with you because not only discussing what this could mean for Christian Pulisic now at Juventus, but what about Matthijs de Ligt at Chelsea? What do you think about that move?
Well, he's a good player. We know that he's a player that's strong in the tackle. He's fairly good in the air. I don't think he's as good on the ball as some other centre-halves around Europe, but he reads the game well. I think he's learnt well over the last couple of years at Juventus. I still don't think he's reached his full potential, so there is still more to come. I think he can be a leader. I think he's got enough pace. I know that Stevie Nicol thinks he hasn't got enough pace. I actually think he's quite quick. He's quite mobile. He comes onto the ball really well. And in 1v1 situations, he defends for his life. So I think he's a good defender, a good character, and he will get better and better. So with Chelsea losing Rudiger, I can understand exactly why they want him.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.